Hi, my name is David Mulder, and I'm a Samba developer at SUSE Linux and the creator of Himmelblau, a cutting edge solution for Azure Entra ID authentication on Linux. Himmelblau is currently available through community packages for Fedora, Rocky Linux, OpenSUSE, Ubuntu, and SUSE Linux Enterprise. I'm excited to share that Himmelblau will soon be officially released as part of SUSE Linux Enterprise 15 Service Pack 7 and included in SUSE Linux Enterprise 16, making enterprise-grade authentication more accessible than ever. Let's take a look at what we'll be covering today. We'll start with an introduction, where I'll provide a quick overview of Himmelblau and the key benefits it brings to enterprise authentication on Linux. Next, I'll guide you through the steps to configure Himmelblau on a Linux desktop, ensuring you're ready to take full advantage of its features. Then we'll dive into desktop authentication, demonstrating how Himmelblau enables secure multi-factor authentication in a GDM session. After that, we'll explore server authentication, where I'll show you how Himmelblau enhances SSH access with Azure Entra ID. Finally, we'll wrap up with upcoming features where I'll give you a sneak peek at the exciting developments we have planned. In today's enterprise environments, security and seamless user experiences are critical. That's why we created Himmelblau, a powerful solution that brings Azure Entra ID authentication to Linux in a way that meets modern security demands. Himmelblau enables multi-factor authentication through PAM, providing secure access via both GDM and SSH. It also supports Windows Hello authentication, leveraging a soft HSM-bound key for streamlined, secure user verification. Additionally, Himmelblau simplifies workflows by offering single sign-on for Firefox, making it easier than ever for users to stay productive while maintaining robust security. Let's dive into how Himmelblau works and why it's the superior choice for enterprise authentication. You can see on this virtual machine that I've already downloaded the packages to install Himmelblau, and I'm going to do that now. These packages provide the daemons for authentication and the NSS and PAM modules, as well as configuration for SSH and single sign-on. Now that that's complete, let's proceed with the basic configuration. I'm opening my himmelblau.conf file. I'm going to set the domain name. That's my test tenant domain. That's the only required parameter. There are other parameters here. For example, Windows Hello is enabled by default. You could disable that. You can increase the required pin length for Windows Hello. You can set login scripts for applying policy compliance. All right, let's start the daemons. Those are running. And let's configure PAM and NSS. You can see this Azure Authentication option here. That's Himmelblau. Now let's test it. Test NSS. I have a user named Tux. You see it's automatically doing name mapping I also have a user named dmolder, the same as my local account. You'll notice that it does not override the local account. So if you have users in your domain that match the local account CN names, then you'll need to use the full UPN name to authenticate. All right, let's log out and authenticate using an Entra ID user. I'm going to authenticate as Tux. It's prompting me to sign in using my Authenticator app on my phone. This is the Microsoft Authenticator app. It also supports other Authenticator apps, or it also supports SMS messages and phone calls, etc. All right, now it's asking me to set up a Windows Hello PIN. In the future, I'll authenticate using this PIN. What you don't see happen in the background is that it just enrolled in the domain, in the Entra ID domain. Now let's test our single sign-on in Firefox. The first time it loads, it prompts us whether we want to install the Entra ID single sign-on, and we'll approve that. In a moment here, it will synchronize with our single sign-on. And there we go. You can see our Tux user is signed in. I'm going to navigate to the Azure portal, and you'll see that it signs me in automatically. Now let's test our PIN unlock. You see, after locking the device, we're prompted for our hello PIN. And that successfully unlocks our device. Let's test signing out, and we'll log back in, and you'll see that we authenticate now using our hello PIN. Prompts us for a PIN. And now we've authenticated using that HSM secured key. And now, even though we didn't MFA during that authentication, we still have MFA credentials when we sign into Firefox, as you can see here. Now let's attempt an SSH auth on another host. And this is a first authentication attempt. And so it's prompting me for MFA, entering the code in my Authenticator app. And now it's enrolling the device. And here it's prompting me to set up a hello PIN. Now I can go ahead and do this. And now I'm enrolled and I have a hello PIN set up to authenticate to this host. Now if I exit and I authenticate again, it's going to prompt me for my hello PIN. But what if we don't want to use hello PIN for authentication? Perhaps we want to require MFA every time a user SSHs to this host. I'm going to SSH to this host as an administrative local user, and I will disable hello pin authentication. This is my himmelblau.conf file. I've just set that to false. And now I'm going to restart my Himmelblau daemon. And now I'm going to authenticate with hello disabled. I'm going to enter my password initially, as before. And then I get prompted for MFA authentication. Enter my entropy in the Authenticator app and approve the sign-in. And then I'm authenticated to the host. Coming up in the next release of Himmelblau, I've added Kerberos Ccache initialization, supporting both synchronized on-prem AD and Azure Cloud Kerberos. Also, I'm working on FIDO key MFA. This will be limited to localhost authentication only, such as GDM.